in our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves.
We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery.
Unity
is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate.
In this world there's room for everyone. The good earth is rich. It can provide for everyone.
It underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the only home we've ever known.
Let us all unite!
Welcome.
Didn't said it all. Welcome. This is the Unity podcast. Me and Thin are big time creators now, so we've decided to move on to podcasting.
Yep,
the final frontier.
We've got 40 subs between us. 25 yours,
Dude,
15 mine.
I can't even keep track. The numbers get bigger every hours.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
I think we've got 300 views between us, and 200 of them are yours. Over
Bro, what
200?
are you talking about? I got 600 views on my channel. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, we got 700 views total, and 6 of them are from you.
Yeah. Does anybody watch that super long one you made today? Or is it just me?
As far as I know, it's just you. I haven't checked the metrics on it in a while. Let me go check that. In the first 90 minutes, so that gave people a half hour to get through it all, it was just you.
Yeah. I mean, from the minute it hit my box, I was watching it.
First 4 hours, 48 minutes, 1 view, impression click-through rate 100%, average view duration 59 minutes and 54 seconds.
I told you, I watched the whole thing.
I cannot believe Ty hasn't gone to do that yet. He must be busy, otherwise he hates
Yeah. Well, I think he really likes to enjoy the videos, so he's gonna make time for it. That one was a long one, but it was good. Link in the description of this video, obviously.
Yeah, I'm never doing a video that long to you. It took so long. First of all, it took like 4.5 hours for me to export it just from my video editor, and then it took me like an hour and a half. It took more than an hour, and it took like 2.5 hours just to upload it onto YouTube.
Dude. Yeah, I think the longest video I've made is like 23 minutes, and it took 2 hours or something to upload.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is I just walked away from my computer at that point. It's like, I'll see you in 3 hours.
So let's get into it. This is the Unity podcast. Don't really have a structure yet. It's a catch-all. We're going to talk Minecraft, server maintenance, admin stuff, movies, music, who knows? This is something no one was asking for, and me and Thin are purely doing for our own enjoyment.
Now who's doing the self-deprecating humor? You told,
yeah,
told me to knock that off after my first video. You said, nobody's going to want this. Nobody's going to watch this. Stop doing that. No. It's okay when you do it.
So before we get into any topics, let's just briefly introduce ourselves. Thin, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm Thin Man Mr. Jones. I am the grandpa of this server and the granddaddy of all Unity. I was the precursor to Drum on the server that we met on by about 11 days. Don't forget it.
Hold it above me forever.
Of course, I guess Tempo can hold it above me that he was around for about 6 hours before I was. I can hold it above AIM that I was there for 5 minutes before he was. So.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hell, it's been almost 2 full years. It's been 2 years in September when Dave started Friendcraft, and I joined, and Tempo joined, AIM joined, bunch of other people who didn't make it to this server joined, and then you and Ty joined.
That was the start of a beautiful thing. We hated Ty.
Yeah, for about, I don't know, 7 or 8 weeks, and then all of a sudden nobody was playing except for me and Drum. And that's how we got on so well. And then when the server closed down...
Without explanation or warning?
Without explanation or warning. It must have been just because, like, the 3 or 4 months, whatever, that Dave Butt just... he didn't renew it or anything.
His lease ran out.
So late February of 2019... Drum said he wanted to start a new server, and he did, and he invited some of us from the Friendcraft thing, and I think only about 3 or 4 of us came over, including myself. I hopped in the voice with Drum. Drum's like, hey, you want to be a mod on this because I trust you? Cool. Biggest regret you'll ever have, huh?
No. It's been a great decision. You've stuck around. You held the reign while I was in production.
Yeah, that's true. I was server administrator for a while. I was a server owner. Yeah.
All that power to see that random JavaScript go by in a console.
Yeah, I know, and do pretty much nothing different than when I was just an admin.
Yeah, it's easy. No big deal. Just red name in the Discord.
Everybody else is basically doing all the actual mod jobs for me.
So I'm drummer 8x8. Everyone says drummer 8x8 or drum or something like that. But I like Thin's basically covered the history of me and Thin. I've been playing Minecraft for about 4 or 5 years now. Back when Hermitcraft Season 6 started, I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to be on a server. So went on Reddit, found one called Friendcraft, hopped on, and didn't think it was right for me because I logged in and there was a giant rainbow bong being built on the server. I was like, are these really the kind of dudes I want to hang out with? But it worked out good.
I remember that bong.
Like Thin said, it died pretty quick. We remember it very fondly, but in all reality, it was like all of 2 months that server lasted before it was super dead. But then I coasted through a bunch of other servers, tried to start a server with another group of people who turned out to be trash, and then, did it on my own, started Unity. Year and a half later, me and Thin are big-time YouTubers. Now we're big-time podcasters. Just 970 more subs, and I'll be getting that sweet, sweet ad revenue. I'm pumped, dude.
Yeah,
we're on a path.
900.
There's no pulling over now.
985 more subs for me.
Dude, we're gonna be, the server's gonna be self-sufficient based on our ad revenue alone.
Yeah, it's like 985 subs is about 95% of the population of my hometown. So
yeah, so they should be your biggest fans. Support local.
A lot of them
podcasting.
are meth addicts.
Oh, well, they got money to blow.
Money to blow or money for blow?
Money for blow. There you go. Yeah, I think we've established this is not going to be a super kid-friendly podcast, but we'll try and keep it relatively clean. I don't know.
Thanks for saying that. I've already self-censored myself with that hell earlier, so I'll just say it now.
Okay, well, I'll just put Minecraft oofs over bad words. That'd be really funny. Make my job a lot harder, but worth it for the memes. So we don't have like a crazy plan or any massive structure to this show yet, but we want to try and do it every week, hopefully. Maybe once quarantine is over and the world is normal again, we'll have real lives and won't be able to do it every week. But for now, we try and do it every week.
Yeah, we'll be hoping to get other people on the from the server on the podcast to let them join in on the conversation, because we got a lot of people out there with a lot of opinions about everything.
Very strong opinions that no one is shy to voice. But yeah, we'd like to get some server members on here and just see what this turns into. One thing we do want to do, since this is just like our content is pretty focused on Unity, is talk about what's been going on the server this week. And that sort of blends into our main topic as well. So we'll just combine them both together. We hit 116 this week. Woo!
Woo!
It was a long awaited. Felt like it took forever because we were all thinking once quarantine started, man, 1.16 is right around the corner. Oh, it's going to be great.
It took forever because you dug out a circle in the middle of the ocean, said you didn't want to decorate it till 1.16 came with
Right.
Blackstone.
Yeah, it made me wait a long time to move forward on that project. But yeah, finally, it was 4 months after we did a reset for essentially started right as quarantine started. We reset the server from our 1.14/15 land, started a fresh server, new provider, and man, people cranked in quarantine. But yeah, some projects we were holding off on for 1.16, so it's been exciting this week to finally get to start on some of those.
Man, oh man, yeah. I mean, people really cranked on quarantine because I was there for like the first 3 hours of the server, and then I was off for like the next week and a half because I didn't have internet in my new house. And then I come back and everything's done on the server. And you know what, Evie? If you're listening to this, everything else is done on the server. I was far behind everyone else, and I still played and I still had fun. So you can come back to the server
We need
without
that
the full reset.
Server side, moving into 1.16 is pretty rough because we've been running paper MC on the server for God knows how long.
Oh, moving to vanilla was just lagtastic.
Oh, you really don't. We took it for granted of running on paper, like what it was doing for us, and there was like always this thing in my mind of like, well, it doesn't really feel like it's doing anything. Why don't we go back to vanilla and get some of those traditional mechanics back? Oh my lord. I don't know if it's 1.16 or what, but we had to run vanilla for 2 days, I think. And it was an eternity, man. And I don't know what Mojang's doing because, God, it ran so terribly.
I don't know who everybody out there says that, like, oh, you're not having the vanilla experience if you're using, like, data packs, like vanilla tweaks like we are. But it's 100% not that. It's the real non-vanilla experience out of it, I guess, it has to be the fact that we're not running the vanilla jar.
Well, I talked about that in my video of like, you know what? After this experience, yeah, let them be so proud of running vanilla with their 18 FPS and their server running 300 ticks behind. Like, God, it was tragic. I don't know how much people out there know about a server, but when you reset a server, which we do twice a day, noon and midnight, at least my time zone, noon and midnight. Anyways, after that, that's a clean start for the server. It's fresh. There's no buildup. It's ready to go. And with the vanilla server jar, from the moment it restarts, it's 120 milliseconds behind. 120 ticks behind. That is crazy. That's like if we're running a World Eater or something. that starts happening.
My personal experience is I got on the server to deal with the new Nether stuff, and I went Nether mining. I was on for about, I don't know, like probably an hour, and I was doing totally fine. There was only, I think, like Ty and Juju were on at the time. And then I came back later that night, and there were like 4 other people on. And I gotta think we might have all been in the Nether, maybe loading new chunks this part of it. But all of a sudden, I was going from 75 FPS to 7 FPS.
Yeah, I think all of us mining for ancient debris didn't help, but still, like, I took screenshots of the console. It was ridiculous how bad it ran.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Paper MC, the guys over there, cranked out the 1.16.1 version, thankfully.
They're the real heroes.
But yeah, so now we're back on paper. Everything's running smooth. Feels good. So let's talk 1.16. What do you think?
Man, oh man, I've got so many good ideas for the new blocks. First of all, I'm so happy that we got 2 more woods.
Yeah, I knew you'd be happy with the wood.
You know how I feel. You know how I feel about mushrooms. So my biggest thing is that I've got 2 more mushrooms to put in all my flower pots.
Yes.
So, Grand Temple.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
back.
you can put the warped fungus in your little flower pots.
Well, that's the whole thing. When the first snapshot came out, you couldn't do that, and I complained on the Minecraft complaints page or everything. And then like a couple snapshots down the line, they finally fixed it so you can put them in the flower pots. So I feel like I had to do with that.
Yeah, I feel like you single-handedly probably got potable mushrooms in the game.
I mean, it's like Mojang could just hire me now as an ideas man. First idea, get back to doing colored wood. You haven't talked about it in like 8 years.
Yeah, I was really excited for 116 for Blackstone. My build style, I'm going to get crap from Thin about it, but my style has always been large and geometric, which tends to mean large circles.
Always
but,
circles.
Only circles. But no, I was excited for 116 because we were finally getting Blackstone, which is a dark block palette, which was very exciting to me. I don't know if it's because I'm colorblind, but very excited for a dark color palette to finally do some evil, spooky stuff. Because up until this point, your only options for dark was coal blocks and black concrete and black wool, and we had no stairs or slabs.
Yeah, the darkest you could get of that was either the nether brick, if you wanted to go red, or basically like stone brick.
Yeah, and it didn't really have the palette that I was looking for, so I was really excited for Blackstone. Planned my whole base on using the 116 blocks like Thin mentioned, and finally I'm able to start building on it, and within about a day and a half I got bored of building my new base and I've moved on to other things. So
that's how it always is.
Yeah, I'll get back to it eventually. It's just it's a very large scale project. Well, with 116, speaking of other projects, me and Chess, our resident Psycrafters on the Unity server, have moved on to a huge project. Beforehand, with 116, we knew we were going to reset the Nether, so we didn't do any intense sort of Nether side projects. But now that 116 is here, we can move towards doing Wither Skeleton Farm, Blaze Farms. We can do the Nether side of our Creeper Farm and stuff. But instead of focusing on easily attainable tasks, me and Chess decided to build a perimeter in the Nether. And in order to do that, we're removing a 17 by 17 chunk square of the bedrock ceiling to build a world eater. We're having a blast, man. It is so much work to watch Chess build it all.
Blast, pun intended.
But I'm really excited for 116. It opens up, I mean, obviously it opens up a whole nother world, but it gives us a whole sort of refresher on the server to get people interested.
Guaranteed insane for doing that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to break a fucking bedrock ceiling.
Well, thankfully there are much smarter people that have created these machines that do it for us, but it's very weird to watch happen. I mean, you're not supposed to do that. So It's a lot of fun to see it happen.
The Gilded Blackstone, I've gotten more of it than I thought I would have. I know I can use it for something. I haven't figured out exactly what yet. It's just one of those blocks that it calls to you like, you have a use for this. There is a use for this. I need to find it.
It's such a pretty block, and I wish it was craftable because I want to use it and stuff, but the only way to get it, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure you only get it stealing it from bastions, right? You can't...
Yeah, so if it wasn't so dark, I would put it underneath Ty's quartz fountain that he built at the courtyard. Like, I'd put that under the water there to make it look like people toss coins in.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
I feel like it's too dark because I was thinking, you could do that with the Nether gold ore, you could do that with the regular gold ore, but I think the Blackstone would work best underneath the water. It's just, if it was more of like a dark prismarine type of color, it's just, I feel like it's too dark to do that, though.
We need, like, gilded basalt. That would be good.
My God, I'd be all over that. You know how much I love the basalt. I didn't think I was going to love the basalt that much, and then all of a sudden, when I was working on the amphitheater, I just placed it sideways and saw that it worked really well with the chiseled quartz, that whole look. Yeah, see, as with most ugly blocks in Minecraft, like birch and diorite and that kind of stuff, inadvertently Thin, or intentionally, I don't know, Thin creates something pretty out of it and makes me realize that, yeah, it's a usable block. But 100% happened again. 116 comes, oh my God, basalt is so ugly. I will never use that block for anything. Go over to the amphitheater. Thin's made it look gorgeous. I'm like, of course. And now I think I've built like 3 builds using... In fact, I designed our Nether Hub to have it in there. It's a useful block. I really like it. You're too kind. about the ability.
I mean, I still haven't come all the way around on diorite, but you do include it in good ways. I think that is just an inherently ugly block. I don't know if there's something worth saving there.
I love the diorite block. I think the next server we on, I'm gonna have a base that's gonna be entirely made of diorite.
God, no. Cookies and cream bird poop base.
Not like, it's a salt and pepper block, is what I like to think of it.
Salt and pepper? Yeah, it's like salt and pepper, like nasty gravy at a truck stop, kind of.
I've never been to that kind of a truck stop, but
you've never. A lot of truck stops around here have they have like a whole breakfast buffet when you stop there at 4 a.m. when it's pitch black outside. You can get eggs and stuff.
Well, I mean,
there's a nice vat of diorite gravy in there. It's great.
Oh, for your biscuits? Yeah.
Yeah. I've never gotten the gravy on biscuits thing. That's just.
I guess I can't say I've been long road trucking at 4 a.m. and needed breakfast, that sort of thing. So.
I think it's kind of like gas station pizza. You don't actually ever eat it. It's just there.
I wouldn't eat much of anything from a gas station if it didn't come like pre-packaged with somebody else's brand on it.
See, a big thing, and maybe, I don't know, you can tell me what it's like in California, but out here in Tennessee, gas station sushi is a really big thing. And it may be fine, but there's just something, when I think of sushi, I think fresh, clean.
You mean like a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm saying it's a bad thing that there's gas station sushi.
Yeah, but like, it's a big thing in the South, as in like it's a good big thing in the South or a bad big thing? Because I was always taught don't eat gas station sushi.
It's everywhere. That's what I'm saying. Is I don't know. I've never had it, but it's in every gas station. There is a blinking sign that says we have sushi. And you're like, okay, I don't want it.
The thing at all the gas stations around here is there's like a little hot food, like like a little roller.
Dude, roller food. Love roller food.
And they've got something called like a tornado on it, which sort of looks like a
Yeah, tornadoes are like taquitos that often either have like pizza or breakfast stuff in them, and they are fire.
I've never had a tornado before. It just looks like it's so fried and like it feels like it would make me puke on the first bite.
The thing this is a pro tip coming from somebody who's been in the music industry for about 5 years and been in the movie business for about over a year professionally, but when you're on a road trip and you stop at a Love's or a Pilot gas station, you are not going to find anything good there, right? What you're looking for.
I've been to some Pilots, yeah.
What is the lowest on your tier? What is going to cause the least amount of intestinal discomfort?
That's what you're going for. The lowest risk is what you're looking for. Man, I've been to Pilot. I've been to Pilots and I've had like some of their like pre-made sandwiches that literally just have like some American cheese and some old turkey on it, on like a soggy roll.
Right, it's always this cold soggy. It's like it's been refrigerated and thawed too many times. It's just this weird texture bread.
I've had a gas station burrito before. That wasn't too bad actually.
Well, see, I think it may be a secret with them is that they make the food so greasy and nasty that when I buy a slice of gas station pizza, that I'm going to stop at the next 4 gas stations owned by the same company along the way to go to the bathroom, and I'm bound to buy something else, right?
I'm sorry, just you saying the term gas station pizza, I think I'm about to eat myself.
Yeah, it's that kind where you can like tilt it and the oil just runs off of it. Oh,
see,
so great.
And see, here's the thing is my mom, her family is from New Jersey, like North New Jersey, New York area. And so they were always taught that the best pizza you could get is down on the boardwalk. And the reason you know it's good is because the grease is running down your arm. And I was raised on that. And still the idea of greasy gas station pizza just makes me feel so disgusting. Like, I mean, I'm not a fan of pizza anymore because of this.
I hate that when you press a fork in and the oil like comes out of the pizza and engulfs the fork. Oh, it's so gross. Can't handle it. Because then you just think about it. That oil is then in your gut and it just slips right out. Wow, it didn't take as long to get to poop talk on the podcast. That was fast. 116 to gas station pizza to getting the hot snakes. So why do you? why do you want colored wood so bad? What is your goal with colored wood?
I just want more options for wood, and if they're not gonna introduce like more types of trees or anything, then I think they should just give you the option to color the wood like you can with like the terracotta and the concrete and stuff.
Are you wanting like rainbow colored woods or just more variants of beige and brown?
I want more variants of wood, but I think I would find a use for all of the colors of wood. Like you ever seen those like Nordic fishing towns where there's like like bright yellow houses and bright red houses and stuff like that? Like I've always wanted to create something like that, and I've tried to do it. Like I tried to do it on Friendcraft with the because that's what my island was originally going to be. It's like I built I built like a stave church, and it was going to be like a Nordic fishing village, and I had a bunch of like red and yellow concrete powder I was using as the walls because I thought concrete was too flat.
Right.
And I wanted some texture to it, but it just looked like really disgusting stucco. Because it's got the the sand pattern and everything. I was like, okay, well, if we got some nice wood, plus then you could build a nice red barn, like the traditional red barn. And white woods, oh my god, white woods with a black stone roof, be beautiful.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Great wood. Like I don't know if you've ever heard. There's a planned community here in Sonoma County, up on the coast, that was built in the '60s called Sea Ranch, and it's got this very distinctive, sort of like single gable barn with no overhang style. I've always loved it because I've just grown up, like my grandparents originally had a house on the coast in that same style. I've always loved it, and I always thought, well, in order to build something like that in Minecraft, and it's a beautiful style, I feel like I need gray wood, and I need it to be vertical planks. Because that's the other thing I've always wanted. Vertical planks. Like the only vertical planks we have are the barrels, and you know how much I love using the barrels.
Yeah, on our server currently, I think probably every single one of your builds has barrels at least, and some of them, like the Port Authority, are made of barrels.
Yeah, the Port Authority is made almost entirely out of barrels.
It's a cool looking block. I built the Nether shop, and I realized it's awesome because you don't have to put chest in the shop because the walls are made of chest. So it worked out great. So what else were you what were you wanting in 1.16 that you didn't see?
Like all throughout the years, I feel like I've pretty much gotten everything that I wanted in Minecraft. Like I wanted, like the barrels are great, the lanterns were great.
Lanterns were awesome. That was a big deal. Yeah,
I had a field day with those. The campfires are great. You can unburn the campfire. You can extinguish the fires on the campfire, and you can use them as small.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people use those for like boardwalks and stuff.
I've used those a lot. Yeah. Not
Don't forget about chains.
Yeah, the chains are nice too.
I wish chains had gravity, but I'm sure in Minecraft it's not the right coding or something. They couldn't actually add gravity effects to chains.
I don't know if there's anything else that I actually want other than the colored wood and the vertical planks. See,
what I've been wanting forever is concrete slabs and stairs. Why are you going to give us all these multicolored blocks and then you have to put... They're in like their own category of texture because, like you said, they're so flat. So then you can't pair any stairs or slabs with them because all the stairs and slabs have like the traditional fantasy sort of texture to them.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the other thing. I would like for at some point the ability to be that pretty much any building block has stairs and slabs,
right?
And like a wall or a fence that goes with it. Or vertical slabs, and I guess we kind of
vertical slabs.
We kind of got that with the wall update.
Those do look super clean when they're not attached to anything. Like when they actually get to do the connecting thing, which often they don't because they're up against something, but they look super clean when they're flat like that.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to use them much because I haven't had a lot of stuff I'm using walls in right now. But, you can make a lot of nice, cool, like, little outbuild. You can make a nice, like, outhouse with the...
See, I don't even think like that when I'm building. Like, you think about realism and have all these cool, creative little builds, and I'm over here like, how big can I make this circle?
You took Friendly's class, and I saw my head was there on an armor stand. I consider that a personal front from Friendly.
No, did you not notice you were teaching the other class?
Oh, I was teaching the other class.
Yeah, you were
Okay, I
teaching
take
the
that
advanced
back,
level
hon.
class. Yeah, you were on the other side.
I am so very sorry. That was not made. That was not made clear in your video. I guess I can blame you for the editing on that.
No, it was clearly instructed to me from Friendly. You must put Thin on the other side teaching the class. It's like, okay.
I guess I'm not so fake outraged about it anymore. But yeah, I mean, you were in Friendly's class. You know, I do a lot of story builds, as he puts it. You know, sometimes I throw out an inspiration build, but I don't really do lots of farm builds unless you count actual like big ass wheat fields as farm builds.
Right. The server's most efficient reed farm.
Yeah, okay, I guess that is a farm build. I was going to say, because my giant wheat fields are usually more like story builds because I just want the place to look nice, and sometimes the grass is ugly.
I don't know. It may be scaling that where I take the issue, but like when he said, I'm not going to rag on Friendly or anything, but like farms building something around them, at least for me, coming from the technical perspective, is like, well, if you build anything around the farm, you're making it less efficient. And when you build on the scale of farms, like you can see on my channel, the ones me and Chess have done, you can't really build anything in those.
Well, I mean, I think of it more like the walls that you did for the perimeter. I think those would be considered farm builds.
Yeah.
Or like if you remember back to 1.13, the iron golems you did the iron farm, those would be considered farm builds.
Yeah. Well, and
or I guess maybe like a stable for your cows or something like that.
Yeah, I think he was definitely right though, because like I either fall into farm or inspiration when I build, and it often leads to burnout. With farms, I'll get them done because then once they work, that's rewarding for me. That's why I like doing farms. And then inspiration, I just can't ever execute it quite fast enough. So I just keep getting, at least on this current version of the server, I just keep getting inspired to do stuff. And I have a bunch of half-done things. Like we've got the whole modern city. I don't know if people even know that exists, but that's not even half done. That's started.
Hey, that got featured in my video.
Yeah, I saw that
Modern
in the
City
scavenger.
got featured in my video for the scavenger hunt.
But I got my base, and that sort of was held up by 116, and I think I was really inspired back when I first built it, but now that I've waited so long, I'm like, I don't know. I've just never been able to get in that mindset of the story building. I think it's because I'm not really good at detailing. And to tell a story, you have to be really good at doing that with static blocks in Minecraft.
Maybe. I feel like a lot of people shy away from doing like what you want to consider term as story builds because they think that like it involves sort of a certain amount of like role play maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't think that way, but I just happen to think like, my story build, I mean like here's the extent of like my story build on the servers. Like I went out to that swamp and I built a nice house. And all of a sudden, one of Ty's villagers got loose and ended up in my swamp. So I just took him in and called him Pedro. And he's going to be my groundskeeper. And then I built him a nice house on the coast. Actually, I built him a shitty house on the coast. And then I built him a nicer house and a bigger house than mine, I'll have you know. Because I felt like it was rude of me to have him working for me as my groundskeeper. And to have a bigger house than me that's like 10 blocks from my house. You got to make the neighborhood look good. Then I was like, well, he can be like a lighthouse keeper. And I built a giant lighthouse. But it's not really like role-playing or anything. It's just, it's getting yourself into the mindset of, well, this is a game. I might as well have fun with it, right?
Yeah, and be able to tell a story.
And maybe that's the difference between people that like... See, I always figured that this was the disconnect between like technical Minecrafters and people who want to build in Minecraft, is that people who want to build in Minecraft don't necessarily like have more creativity, because I think there's a lot of creativity that has to go into like figuring out those farms and stuff or figuring out easier ways to do them. But I think the difference is that people who build tend to think of more as this being a game that they can have fun in, like an open, well, like like a sandbox game, and then people who are like really into redstone and building technical farms and stuff like that think of it more as like a game that they have to beat.
Well, see, for me, and this spans into a lot of things about gaming, which it's a whole nother podcast in itself. But for me, what I enjoy in games is having total control. I'm not going to read too deep into what that means about my real life self, but I like having total control. And so for farms, it's really appealing to me to be able to control every aspect of what's occurring and to maximize the performance of the farm by controlling the environments that are in it. And it's something that's easier to sort of zone out and just have a task, to focus on.
Yeah.
Because for me, gaming is often an escape. So if my escape is then trying to do creative designing and creative storytelling, I guess that's why I shy away from that.
Yeah, I guess that's where my disconnect is that, it's an escape for me too, but I'm thinking of it as more of an escape where, like in my real life, I feel like I have to be in control of my real life. I have to be moving forward. I have to be doing this and that and making money and everything else like that. And so my escape is like, well, I can do whatever I want in this game, and I choose to do things that I'm not that I don't, have to be doing to move forward in life, in real life.
Right.
And so I feel like that's the difference, is that like the escape is that you want to, obviously I'm not a technical Minecrafter. So this is just my personal reading of things, is that they just want the escape to somewhere where they can, feel in control. Exactly.
Feel successful, because with a creative build, ultimately, once it's done, it's there, and the only reward of it is either the enjoyment you get out of seeing it, or I guess in some people's case, not to call anybody out, the compliments that you receive on the creative build. But with a technical thing, like when me and Chess build, this wither skeleton farm, the reward there is 10 wither skulls a minute. Wow, we did it. That's awesome. And it's over.
It's the same end goal you're working towards, which is the satisfaction of having finished something and being proud of it.
Right.
It just comes from different perspectives.
Yeah, and ultimately I really enjoy doing the huge farms on Unity because I get to feel like a provider. We create enough resources, more than enough resources for everyone to take advantage of them. So
Daddy drum bucks.
Yeah, daddy drum bucks. So we've talked about what we liked, what we wanted. Let's talk about what we don't like about the 1.16 update. You want to go first? You want to leave us in dead silence?
So much about the Nether. It's just like, all the great
It's
blogs.
Terrifying. It is terrifying.
It's fucking terrifying. The Basalt, or Basalt, if you want to say it correctly.
You always see. Why do you do that? First, before we get into this, you always say basalt and then say or basalt if you want to say it correctly. Why don't you just say basalt?
It's the way my dad says it, and I. It's like we don't see a lot of basalt over here. It's mostly
or basalt if you want to say it correctly.
It's because every time I say basalt, I'm thinking I'm saying bath salts.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
But yeah, it's basalt. It's my dad said. My dad says a lot of it incorrectly. He says theater, and it annoys me to no end.
The theater.
No, not even theater. It's theater.
Theater. Let's go down the theater. Go to Tarjay.
It sounds so. I don't know if anyone down in Tennessee says it, but it sounds southern coming from him. The way he says it. It sounds so hillbilly is what it is.
No, we just say go to the movies. We don't say theater. Theater. God. No, the Nether is very scary.
Yeah.
What were you saying about the basalt deltas?
The basalt deltas are so damn scary. especially with the magma cubes, because I get up on top of, one of the basalt pillars, and I'm thinking, okay, so this magma cube is not going to knock me off over the lava, and then all of a sudden the magma cube jumps like 20 blocks high. When the hell did this get added?
Yeah, they seem to have the spider hitbox of they can be 4 blocks away from you and knock you out.
They got buffed, and they are now the scariest mob.
I know, and there are so many of them in the basalt deltas.
I did not care about them whatsoever before.
No.
It's like, okay, well, if I want a magma cream, we've got a blaze farm, we've got a slime farm, I can do that. Now it's, oh my god, I hate them so much.
Yeah, then their spawn rates are nuts. That's the thing with all of the new Nether biomes.
It's because the little ones, unlike the little slimes, can hurt you. They can knock you back.
Yeah. But that's the thing with all of the new Nether biomes is they all have individualized mobs, and all of them want to murder you. There are no like past. There's still zombie pigmen, but or zombified piglins. Stupid name.
No, there's zombie pigmen. There'll always be zombie pigmen to
Every
us.
biome, aside from warp forest, but those still have Endermen in them. They all want to kill you, and it's terrifying. And everyone on the server has died multiple times now, and we keep having to help people get their stuff back.
Did you see in the new snapshot that came out, there's now
Oh my god, yes.
there's a piglin that cannot be distracted, and he's just angry. Oh, it's like...
Yeah, as if the Nether had not already been too challenging.
That is so challenging, given that all the other piglins are going to then be mad at you if you defend yourself from that guy.
Yeah, they've for those that don't know, they've added the Piglin Brute. He doesn't care if you're wearing gold. He doesn't care if you don't do anything that will tick him off or any of the other piglins. He's just like a Johnny in a forest mansion, axe and all, just wants to murder you, and he has 50 health points.
He's got 50 health. Damn.
50
Jesus.
health. Yeah.
It's like, you know...
And he only drops the equivalent XP of killing a skeleton. So it's not even like a high return on murdering these two.
This is just the karma that everybody gets for being all like, oh, we want a Nether update. We haven't had a Nether update in so long. The last thing we got was quartz and everything. It's like, okay, yeah, well...
We're going to make it look cool, but everything on here wants to slaughter you.
Yes.
Yeah. And see, that's one of my biggest complaints. And I follow the snapshots. I watch Mango and I watch Sazuma. I watch all of those. I was fully aware of what's coming, yet I still am not quite clear on how many different things you can do that will cause the piglins to kill you. If you take gold near them, if you don't have gold on while you're around them, if you open anything, even a hopper or a dropper around them, they get mad at you. Like, there's so many things that make those dudes angry, and I cannot keep track of them. So I've just avoided the bastions, because honestly, there's nothing like worth risking it in there.
Yeah, I got in there looking for a lodestone. We found like one lodestone between two of them, so it's like, okay, I'll just go mine the ancient debris.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ancient debris, that was this is gonna sound like a weird complaint. It was too easy. I was under the impression leading up to 116 that this was going to be a grind, and it was going to be a huge payoff. Like, I mean, it's 6,000 durability on a pickaxe, or 8,000 or whatever it is now.
I log onto the server, and you've given me 5 netherite ingots and a shulker box.
I know. I updated the server. It was like 9 a.m. It was just me, Friendly, and Chess. Update the server. Everything's good. Nether's there. Hour later, I'm in full netherite gear. 2 hours later, after a bunch of people had jumped on the server to see 116, we had all gone blast mining, and 7 people that were there, every single one of them had full tools and full armor. It was like, I was really expecting this to be a monumental journey, and by the end of the day, maybe we would have netherite tools, and it wasn't that hard. I mean, I just mined in a straight line and poke mined for mine. We did the blast mining for everybody else, and that made it faster, but...
It's so easy. Yeah, especially with the blast mining. But, man, like, Friendly went to go make a tree out of the ancient...
Yeah, Friendly has a 8 nether ancient debris trunked tree at his base. Like, it was not quite what they built it up to be.
I mean, I thought I was going to be flexing, because I was going to take all my ancient debris, and I was going to use it for the altar. I was going to build the altar at the Grand Shrine of the Shroom out of it, and I thought I was going to be flexing my wealth there, just saying, like, oh, I can just throw this around. But I literally have enough. I could just be throwing that around and still finish off all my tools and everything.
Well, see, it was like poor advertising, because they overhyped how hard ancient debris and netherite was going to be, and they underhyped how dangerous the nether was going to be. Because I really didn't think it was going to be that bad, but... Man, I like I said, everybody on the server has died. I know Chess, Cave, Grinch, they've all lost their netherite stuff at least once. Chess has done it multiple times. It's rough now.
But it's not rough down below the lava lakes where you're going to get the ancient debris.
Right, because once you hit Y8, I mean, nothing's happening.
It's like at this point, maybe they should just get rid of the bottom bedrock and allow you to fall through the void.
Add that little bit of challenge. Now, the one that's been getting me the most is the Hoglins, man. Those are like Ravagers that are just always around. And unfortunately, on Unity, our Nether Hub is in a crimson forest. So trying to build our Nether Hub with packs, because I'm the only person in the Nether, so the entire mob cap was going to me, packs of like 16 or 20 hoglins just following me around was a nightmare. It was brutal. And those things hit hard. Two hits from a grown one and you're done.
It's not even well, first of all, you're wearing your elytra when you're doing this usually.
And a piece of gold, which doesn't have as much protection because I don't want the piglins to kill me.
Yeah, with the hoglins, you don't really get much of a payoff because they don't drop the pork chops because of whatever data pack we're using, right?
I fixed that. That's working now. Yeah, we had a weird issue on Unity where we run the more mob heads pack from Vanilla Tweaks, and something about the MBT data, blah 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 blah. It changed the loot table of the hoglins, so they weren't dropping pork at first, but we updated and now it should be fixed. Well, it is fixed. I know it's fixed.
Glad you did that after I was starving in the Nether, going out looking for fucking mushrooms.
I mean, I'm happy with the update. I think it's good. I think the Nether has needed it because up until this point, I mean, at least for us on Unity, we haven't had a Nether hub ever. We've done Nether roof in our 1.13 iteration. We continued in the Nether roof thing when we moved to 1.14 and 1.15. And then this time, obviously knowing that Nether was going to reset, we did Nether roof again. So it feels good to finally be in the Nether and have it be worth being down there. Yeah, finally a Nether hub. I remember that was this is like throwback. I was building the Nether hub on Friendcraft because nobody else was taking it over. So I was building it. And that was a nice one. It was beautiful. Thank you. I decided what would be an awesome decoration. What's the coolest animated block in Minecraft? It's the end crystal. So I decided at the center of our Nether hub, I was going to put end crystals. And I was like, dude, this is popping. This looks so cool. And I was either in chat or in voice chat with Train. And I was like, dude, check this out. This is awesome. And you were, I don't know if you came and looked at it or what, or I just said I decorated with ink crystals, but you're like, I don't know if that's such a good idea. And I was still Train. I was like, dude, why is this guy always got to have this kind of blah, blah, blah. Boom. Right then. I threw my trident just like out of nowhere. I threw it at the crystal, blew up half the Nether hub. So that really was the first iteration of I need to stick around Thin because he's going to keep me safe and level-headed. Oh, that was I quickly got rid of those end crystals. I don't think we kept them. Oh, man. How do you get rid of the end crystals without them exploding? You just had to blow up the other half, too. No, I just built obsidian walls around each of them and then blew them up so they didn't take out the whole Nether hub. That's a smart idea. Yeah, I would have been really screwed if I couldn't have done that. Just blown up the whole Nether hub. Oh, Jesus. But I mean, with people like Ty on the server on Friendcraft, like somebody would have blown them up. Ty 100% for science, as he claims on these things, just walked up to it and punched it with his fist and blown up. You want to talk about for science? The other night, me and Juju and Chess were on, and Ty was on too. And because Ty doesn't ever work on his own things, he was over at Juju's because she was doing villagers or something. Ty's bouncing around, and he's in voice chat. He's like, "It's hitting me. What? It's attacking me." We're like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "This dolphin is attacking me." Oh, that's what happened. Yeah. And we were like, "What? That's not even that's not a thing." I think the dolphins do that, yeah. And he says, "It just killed me." And we didn't believe him. So yesterday I was playing around with the scoreboards, and sure enough, we put it, and Maze was like absolutely like taken aback. Sure enough, killed by dolphin. Ty. It happened. It's a real thing. I had no idea you could actually get killed by a dolphin. Yeah, I think it must be similar to like the llamas spitting at you sort of thing. Somebody looked it up, and they said that they have, in like their code, they do like herd attack pack immunity, something, where if you attack one dolphin, the other dolphins will attack you. And I assume it doesn't do that much damage, and Ty was just low and got killed by it. Ty probably took off his armor, shot himself with his bow a couple times, and then went for the message. For science, That's what Ty does. Well, I thought he had faked it, because like you said when we posted it, oh, he probably just renamed something. So I tried that, and it's not how it works. He actually got killed by a dolphin. But I thought he was just messing with me because the other night, Juju didn't realize that, I don't know how it happened. She had like 50 iron golems underneath her base because I guess her villagers kept getting scared. So she had a whole room just crammed with iron golems. And she lost her stuff down there because she accidentally punched one. So, being a helpful admin, I went down there to get Juju's stuff. Obviously, I went in creative so they wouldn't kill me. But Juju was like, how did you do that? And I was like, oh, I just held an acacia sapling in my offhand. The iron golems, they don't attack you if you have an acacia sapling. And Ty was like, what? Are you serious? That's what? I've never heard that before. He said he went and tried it, and he's like, that doesn't work. So I thought he was just getting back at me with dolphins attacking. But of course, after Ty got killed by the dolphins, I was like, well, they won't attack you if you have an acacia sapling in here.
Oh, man. We're going to have to get Ty on for one of these podcasts so he can explain all this for science stuff.
Yeah, we need to... Ty has a lot of explaining to do. Ty's been putting in work, though. I mean, I think he's very excited. Not going to put words in his mouth, but I think he's very excited we finally have, like, a legitimate gaming district, because he, like, lives out of that now. That's really, like, his expertise is the complicated redstone to accomplish a IRL game in Minecraft. And he does it very well.
That's all he really wanted to do on all the other servers, and it kept not happening.
He builds DDR. We reset.
The only time we had a games district that people were playing at was on Friendcraft. It was like one game, and Ty wasn't even there for it.
Yeah, it was the chicken tower defense game we played once, and I don't think you were even on for that, were you?
I wasn't on for that. I was busy, and I came back about, I don't know, like an hour after you guys had finished, and most of you had gone to bed or something.
We did have Hoovie's Maze that we would go.
Yeah, I showed up late to that too, and we did a little like fight to the death, no armor, just swords on the top of the pyramid. That was the first time I met Ty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the first time I met Ty. He was in voice with Hoovie and Train, and I just got on and everything. And then I probably forgot.
Oh, in voice chat. I was about to say, with his best man speech, he said that y'all interacted at the fisherman market.
Oh yeah, no, it was just the first time we were on voice chat together.
Right.
Yeah, right after he joined the server, he came over to the fish market asking for food.
Yeah, we have a long history with Ty of hating Ty and then loving Ty. I remember.
Yeah, so
me and Aim. Ty decided to set up his starter base in the village at spawn on Friendcraft, and everyone was very annoyed by this because he just like refused to get a real base. So me and Aim went over there one day when Ty wasn't there and tore down the entire village around him, leveled it. It was just the house where his bed was that was left. His retaliation, whether it was retaliation or not, was to build the hot air balloon that spiked so much more debate because it was an iron farm at spawn.
Despite me having actually been on voice with Ty once, and I don't know if you were ever on voice with Ty on Friendcraft and then forgot about it like I did, we went through the entirety of Friendcraft, and when he first joined the server until he actually joined voice with us, which is a good, I don't know, like 6-month situation, where we actually thought Ty was like a 12-year-old troll. And
it also didn't help that Ty was messaging me pictures of his Pocket Edition castle he had built. And I was like, okay, this kid's got to just be playing Pocket Edition. Finally got mom and dad to buy him Java. He's going to play. I'm trying to think now, though, what transition occurred that then Ty became like one of our best friends, one of our best IRL friends.
It was literally
and then became an admin. I don't.
It was literally the first time he joined voice with us, and it was like you, me, Tempo, and Ty were all on because we were all on Friendcraft, and it was just the 4 of us on Unity 1.13. We were hanging out and everything, and we just for some reason decided to share each other's Instagrams because I think Ty was the first one to do that. He shared me his Instagram so he could show us all the pumpkins.
Yeah,
that he was doing. And of course, we confirmed that he wasn't actually 12 years old.
Right.
He became an admin just before we moved to 1.14 land, right?
Yeah, that's when I made Sammy and Ty admins.
Yeah, because it was just you, me, and Maze, and Maze had gone inactive by that point.
Yeah.
And so it was like yeah, because you knew right about then that you were getting busy with your work.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't really run the server only by myself. We gotta get somebody else on there as an admin. And those are the people we trusted the most. And we've regretted it ever since.
Regretted it ever since. I don't want to edit this for the next 4 days. So how do you want to? You do the outro. I'll jump in too.
Okay. We're done. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's about it for this episode. I'll give the formal outro. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. No idea what we're going to talk about. No idea when next time is, but thanks for listening.
Maybe we'll have a guest next time.
We'll have a guest next time. Yeah. Spice it up.
We will have a guest next. Okay, yeah.
We might have a guest next time.
We got to get our story straight there. We may or may not have a guest next time. No promises, bye.